Hey everyone, welcome back to Stag Voiceover. My name is Neil Glasgow. This is part 3 of a 3-part series where I go over where exactly you can look for auditions and work in voiceover. In today's video, we're going to cover pay-to-play sites. So, let's get into it. So before I go into detail about the pay-to-play sites, I better tell you exactly what pay-to-play actually means. It's essentially you pay a membership, a fee to the website, and they will send you auditions based on your criteria that you fill in, whether you do character voices, accents, whatever that might be. They are absolutely amazing resources to tap into if you can afford to pay the membership and if you're not afraid of a bit of rejection. So one of the first ones I'll go into is a company called Voices.com, arguably one of the biggest that's out there, and I'll say arguably because I'll talk about the others in a moment. Voices.com is a North American based website, and it's one of those websites that we would call a cattle call audition site. So essentially, if I put in my criteria, I list myself as British and Scottish. They differentiate that for reasons, and they will send me auditions based on my age, accent profile, rather the accents that I have on my profile, the age range that I play on my profile, can I do dial-in sessions, all that sort of stuff. They run an algorithm that gives me a matching percentage to the audition that comes from a client, and then I am able to audition. I may be one of 60, 100, 200 people that audition for that. And the reality is that most of the people that are listening to those auditions probably are only going to listen to maybe the first 20, 30, unless they really don't hear something that they want to hear. Those auditions tend to last for 1 or 2 days, which is a fair average, I think, for people that want to get a decent sound quickly, which is why they pay to go on these sites. The client pays a percentage, you pay your fee to get on, and that's how these websites make their money. Now, Voices.com, they start in the hundreds of pounds for me, hundreds of dollars potentially for you, to join the site. And they have, I think, a 6-tier system. So if you're level 1, you might be sent auditions along with 300 people. If you're level 2, it might be 200 people. Level 3, 50 people. You see where I'm going with this. The more you pay in, the more exclusive your auditions or your audition opportunity becomes. And that's really important to understand, is what is required of you financially to be involved in these sites. Now, one of the nice things that you get on the sites are essentially a rating system. So you can upload your auditions, you can upload your demos and your samples to it, and people can access those really whenever they like. If they're searching for a Scottish voice, they might put in Scottish, age range, maybe location, and a profile will pop up. They can go through all of my samples, they can like them, they can favourite them, they can pass them on, they can hire me from those samples, and that does happen. You know, that's the golden ratio, essentially, of what you're looking for. You've got your samples up there and people just offer you work. That happens. I wouldn't expect it to happen right away. What you're looking at is you will get an audition. The audition will have very specific instructions. It might tell you how they want it to be delivered. Do they want an announcer, a friend next door? Do they want it casual? Do they want it narratively? Whatever it is. Lots and lots of information goes into that. You can then do your audition and submit it along with a fee that you feel is fair for that audition. And what I say in terms of what you think is fair is they might put a price range on there and say, I'm willing to pay $100 to $350. And it might be a minute's work and it's 45 words. You might look at that and go, do you know what? I'm not going to charge the maximum amount, but actually I like to charge a minimum fee of $175, $250, whatever that might be. You can do that. You dictate what you charge with these sites. So it's a good thing to be able to do on those sites. But just be conscious that if you're, and this is the same with all of the sites, which is why I'm giving it a little bit of a spiel at the beginning, you're paying a membership fee to be involved. So it doesn't guarantee you any work. And you're probably going to make your membership fee back on your first, let's call it 4 jobs. Some jobs are about $100. So let's just call it your first 4 jobs, you will most likely make your membership fee back. So now you're back to zero, you're back to baseline before you start making money. But all of these sites are sites where when the audition comes in, your best chance to secure that audition, get out there and get it done as soon as you can. If you leave it 2 days, all you're doing is adding a repertoire. You're adding content for your library, but chances are that they're not going to listen to it because they've already listened to 60 auditions by that point. Unless you've got a very specific sound that not a lot of people have, that you're still very early on, you're probably missing your opportunity if you don't audition right away. The next one that I'm going to come on to is the next big hitter, Voices 123. And again, slightly different to Voices.com. Again, it is a massive North American-based platform with lots and lots of auditions. These are all websites that I am a part of, and I get auditions every day. Literally every day, something comes through that I could audition from multiple platforms, or at least one platform, something comes through that I can audition for. Voices 123, again, has a rating system. It has a liked and favourite by clients. There's a testimonial page that can go up. But it is, again, one of those sites that you pay your membership. The audition comes in. It's very much cattle call. Get in there as soon as you possibly can and be successful if you can. It's, again, another site that you can dictate what you're going to charge for that. You can put cover notes to the person that's listening to your audition. If you want to say, I can do this or I can do that. Here's another example of my work. And you can sometimes attach samples of auditions that you have on there. And the clients can sometimes be very specific and say, this audition you can use on your demo reel, perhaps, or put it on your site. But on the flip side, some of them are very specific and say, you are not allowed to do that. And there's little rhyme or reason to be able to do that. It depends on what the client's requirements are and actually what that audition's going to be used for. So be conscious of it, but it's a site that, again, hundreds of dollars that we're talking about. It's a site that is very, very good if you are of the right caliber of voice artist. You can be very, very successful on there. And I say the right caliber, and I'm giving all of this with a pinch of salt. If you're just starting out, if you're confident in your ability to do it, and you have the capital, if you have the ability to have that disposable cash, these are sites to look at. If you don't yet, just be careful, just be conscious of where you're putting your money. I'll go into this in another video, in an upcoming video, about your potential startup costs. And what we're looking at here with these sites is hundreds and hundreds of pounds, dollars, rupees, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world, to set this up. And there's no guarantee of work comes out the back of this. So just be conscious. The next one I'm going to talk about is one of the, I'd say one of the better mid-range sites, and that's called Upwork. Again, links to all of this will be in the description down below. Not sponsored by any of them, just helping you out. Upwork is one of those sites that is pay to play on a very specific level. So Upwork has a bidding system, and each bid has a corresponding amount of credits, bids, that you can apply to that bid. Now that might be, depends on the job, might be 1 credit. It might be 6 credits. I haven't figured out the rhyme or reason between how much the website charges in credits to apply for the job. But the job essentially will be, I need X skill set to do X thing, and you write a cover letter, you can attach your samples to the file, and you can send that off and apply for the job. But you get, I think for $15, I tend to use it within a week. $15 will get you about 80 credits. And they're very good in terms of having a tier system where the more work you do, they recognize that work, and the more reviews and stuff that you get, they recognize that work and they can give you a preferential status, they give you badges, and they'll help you get more work. So like with all of these things, the more you do, the more you get. The more work you do, the more work you do. So it's a good site to invest in. I'd probably say that's one of the better sites if you're going to start looking at pay to play when you start getting into it, because again, the jobs can be very well paid. Some of them are not so well paid, but they can be very well paid. But at this point, at this starting point in your career, don't be fussy. Work is work. Experience is experience. And if you get paid for a $5 job and it gets you a review, and that review leads to a $20 job, I'd say that's probably worth it. So definitely have a look at Upwork. It's one of the better mid-range pay-to-play sites. You can absolutely do it for free as a free trial, but after the free trial, then you need to get into that. And the last one that I'm going to talk to you about is one that I have actually mentioned previously in part 2, was Mandy.com. So after the free trial runs out, I think Mandy charges, I think it's under £100. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's under £100. But Mandy is, again, not to belabor it because I've talked about it already, but it is a really good website. I found it's a good website, particularly in the UK as well. The auditions that come in are robust, and the jobs themselves are generally well paid. Most jobs that I see are £300 plus starting level. So definitely a good investment if you're going to look at the pay-to-play sites. So check them out. If you've got the budget, absolutely have a look at them. There are some other websites that are pay-to-play that I am investigating just now, but I don't want to talk about them because they're fairly new to me. I'll maybe do that in another video. But check these ones out. If you're in a position where you're experienced enough, you understand how to do your own auditions, if you've got to the point where you're able to edit fairly quickly, and if you're at the point where you're starting to make a bit of capital out of this is when you can start looking at the pay-to-play websites. Okay, everyone, that's it for this video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it helpful. As I say, I'll put links to all the websites that I've talked about in the comment section down below. If there are any websites that you'd like me to take a look at on your behalf, please let me know. I'd happily do that, and I'll make another video just to give you some information on it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It genuinely does help the channel out. Just remember, you can absolutely be a voiceover artist. I'll see you in the next video.